They ask us for a quick work on number 11. They just want us to solve the absolute value equation. So we have 4 times the absolute value of 1 minus third x equals 12 plus 4x. We're going to go ahead and treat, for the moment, this first couple of terms like parentheses, and this will be the positive side of our absolute value. That means we're also going to have a negative side, so 4, 1 minus 1/3 x in parentheses equals, and now here's where we're going to use that negative sign, negative 12 minus 4x. So you can see the difference here. You're going to have a positive answer, and then you're going to have a negative side over here as well. With this 4, we're just going to distribute, and we're going to get 4 minus 4/3 x equals 12 plus 4x. 4 minus 4/3 x equals negative 12 minus 4x, and now we get to solve for x. So I'm going to add 4/3 x to both sides. And I can also subtract 12 from both sides. I'm going to add 12 to that side. And now we're ready to add everything up. So on my left-hand equation, I have 4 minus 12, which is negative 8. Negative 4/3 of something and positive 4/3 of something goes away. And we're left with 12 minus 12, which goes away. And I have 4x plus 4/3 x. So that's 4 and 4/3 x all together. So negative 8 equals 12 times 4, or 3 times 4 is 12. 12 plus 4 is 16 over 3x. On the other side, 4 plus 12 is 16. This will go away. This will also go away to 0. And I'm left with negative 4 plus 4/3 x. Negative 4 plus 4/3 x. On this side, we're going to multiply by the reciprocal. And 8 divided by 16 is 1 over 2. So this answer right here is negative 3 over 2 equals x. On the other side, get our common denominator here of 3. All right, negative 12 and positive 4 is negative 8. And now we're ready to multiply by the reciprocal. So again, 16 divided by 8. 16 divided by 8 is 2. 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. When I use negative 6 as a solution here, I can already see what's going to happen because my equation has 12 plus 4 times x, 12 plus 4 times negative 6. Okay, 4 times negative 6 is negative 24, and then we have this 12 here. So this whole side of the equation equals negative 12. And when I divide by 4, I'm going to get negative 3. So what we're saying is that this absolute value, whatever comes out of this absolute value, would have to equal negative 3. And that right there is impossible because we have the definition of the absolute value is whenever you're ready to break these signs, your absolute value solution, what comes out of here is going to be positive. And we said that it's going to equal negative 3. So negative 6 is not a real solution for us, but negative 3.3 over 2 is. and that is the one solution they want. This is a griddable answer, so I actually can't leave it as a fraction. I'm going to convert this to a decimal like that. So x equals negative 1.5 for number 11. Okay. Number 12 walks us through positive negative correlation and strong and weak correlation. This is definitely negative correlation because in general the trend of the line is slanting downwards towards the negative, so your slope's negative. It also is actually a pretty strong negative correlation because most of the dots are on a center line. It would be a weak negative correlation if you had some more dots kind of out here. That would be pretty weak. But because everything is pretty much centered on the line, we can say that this is a strong negative correlation here for number 12. All right. Now number 13, it says we just need to solve a quick absolute value function. So let's get started. So here's my work for number 13. I took my absolute value, 2x minus 1, and I wrote it here. And I said that it's greater than or equal to 13. I also did the negative side. So I did absolute value 2x minus 1, and then I flipped my sign to less than or equal to and negative 13. To solve out, I had to add 1 to both sides. Negative 13 and positive 1 is negative 12. Over here, when I added 1 to both sides, I got 13 plus 1 is 14. Then I divided by 2, and I got that x is greater than or equal to 7. When I divided by 2 over here, I got that x is less than or equal to negative 6. Now that I have both of my answers, I need to find them down here. And I'm going to come out with this one. X is less than or equal to negative 6. And then x is greater than or equal to 7. And those are these two answers right here. Okay. Now number 14, they give us a lemon juice bottle. The actual weight varies by, half of an ounce. Which inequality gives the actual weights? Well, if you start with the center of 12, 0.5 on either side of that is 11.5 and then 12.5. And you know that x has to be between those two numbers. It can also be 11.5. So we're looking for a solution that has W that is in between 11.5 and 12.5. And that's going to be answer G. Number 15, which equation produces the widest graph? So the widest graph would be something like this versus something like this. This is like the absolute value of, 2x kind of thing. It's a very steep graph. It's twice as steep. This is 3 times as steep. This is 4 times as steep. So if we want something that's wider, we're going to need something that's half as steep or 1/3 as steep on our absolute value. So let's look at what some of the answer options that they give us. This is -2, which is fine. It's twice as steep. It just happens to be flipped upside down. This is -1/2. This is +2/3. And this is greater than 1. D and A are going to be very narrow graphs. But which one's widest? 2/3 or 1/2? 2/3 is closer to 1. And remember, 1 is your regular parent function graph. So because this is closer to 1, it can't be C. It has to be 0.5 because 0.5 is going to be even closer to 0. And that's flatter, right? So like flatter out here. So your answer is B on that one. Okay. Last one, number 16. It says a scatter plot shows the boiling point of water whenever we're at different points above sea level. What's the boiling point of water at 7,000 feet above sea level? So that would be right about here. And it's going to be definitely less than the 200 here. So none of those. And if this is 190, I don't think that's 194. This is actually really close. So I'm going to say number 16, the best estimate on that is G. All right, that takes us through Chapter 1. The next couple of pages are all about Chapter 2, and I will see you next time.